Question 22 asks students to assess the impact of a growing and ageing population on the health system and services, and they've actually included in here use examples to support your answer. If we think about our key term being assess, just going to have a quick look at our glossary. We'll see here that assess means to make a judgment of value, quality, outcome, result, or size. So it requires students to make a judgment regarding the impact of the healthcare and services. That's what we're looking at in this question here. So we go back, it says assess, so make a judgment based on the impact of a growing and ageing population on the health system and services, and give some examples specific to the judgment or the impact that you're using here, that you're including. If we go and have a look at our syllabus, a growing and ageing population, and look at the wording, assess the impact of a growing and ageing population on the health system and services. That is come directly straight from the syllabus. And this question was worth 4 marks. Just so we have a look at this question, or this answer here, again we're starting to see a little bit of underlining, which from myself and Mr. Sullivan's point of view is very pleasing. So a growing and ageing population has a significant impact on the health status and services. Due to the large number of elderly people increasing, there is more elderly people living with disability and chronic disease, which means that there is a strain on the health system and services as the government needs to come up with more funding, and also meaning that there is more demand for health services in order to cater for an increasing, growing and ageing population. Then we've gone into an example. So we've given made a little judgment here. Now we're going to have an example to support the judgment that we've just spoke about. If more elderly people are in need of medical help, the government has to provide more hospital beds in order to be able to cater for the increasing number. This also affects the availability of carers and volunteers, as it puts more of a demand on the amount of carers and volunteers, as large numbers are required to cater for the ageing population. So that's a little part of our answer there. What I like about this response is that it identifies 3 areas in which ageing population impacts on health system and services. It illustrates a superior understanding with clear examples for each area. When we talk about assess, that requires judgments to be made, and clear judgments regarding the negative impact on the healthcare and services are made throughout this response. That's why it's been identified as the sample response. It's actually gone through and it's answered what the question's asked to do. A judgment's been made about the impact that it's going to have, with some examples to support it. Overall, what the cohort did well was they recognised the impact on health and services. For example, greater demand for services. So again, I think that's quite simple, that most people can know that as the population is getting older, more pressure is going to be put on the health system and services. However, what we struggled with as a group here is that students really failed to provide adequate examples and to assess the impact. So the key term is what's let people down here. They haven't made a judgment, but instead they've just gone through and spoken about the ageing or growing and ageing population, but they need to be coming back into the key term. The question specifically asks candidates to provide examples to illustrate their understanding, and this is another area that students failed to do well. Okay, so the 2 big concerns of this part of this question was that the key term wasn't really implemented as well as it should have been, and that not enough examples, even though it specifically asked for examples here, weren't included to support the judgment that was made about the pressure that's being put on the health system and services because of an ageing population.